watching Quays News. In our special report on food, we look at why do we throw so much food away.
Also, we look at how often do you see litter on the street.
And our reporters gave bacon a go in what we're calling Quays Cakes.
Welcome to Quays News, I'm Ollie Dunkley.
And I'm George Booth. Our top story, 8.4 million people in the UK are living in poverty and struggling to eat.
The food we waste each year is enough for 1.3 billion meals. So why are we wasting so much food? Harriet Beddoe reports.
World's food is wasted. Solving this could feed 2 billion people, more than double the number of undernourished people globally. I spoke to Greg's employee, Tom Bickley, to find out more about what businesses are doing about waste.
Typically in a lot of fast food chains, you're going to get given a target for the amount of wastage that you're going to throw away at the end of the night. And typically we have a 10% target for our wastage. That's typical among all of our stores, and that can actually be a lot higher in stores that are quieter. But when you think a store that makes £2,500 a day, £250 is a lot of wastage, considering you're throwing away products that are between £1 and £4. You know, it's a bigger issue if we don't reach the wastage target rather than if we're over it. Because if we're under it, that means we don't have the amount of products there for customers to buy. And so regional managers and higher are always pushing to have more waste rather than less waste, which is counterintuitive, and I just don't think it's the right way to go about things.
I joined a food waste workshop to learn useful ways to utilise my food.
You've bought a pallet of blueberries and they're all rubbish. Pop them in the freezer, pop them in a smoothie, it doesn't matter.
I then spoke to food activist Holly, who led the session to give me her personal insight on what more we can do.
Stages where food can suddenly be labelled as waste, and we don't value something that is considered waste, right? Waste is something that we purposefully get rid of, or we don't want, or is valueless to us. But there are so many times where perfectly good food is labelled as waste before it actually stops being useful to us or is unsafe to eat. When you throw something away, you're throwing money into the bin. And giving them that fact about how much, like £700 a week per household is how much food is wasted in the UK every year. Like £700 per household in the bin.
A lot of food waste ends up as litter on our streets. Are you someone who adds to the problem, or do you want to know what you can do to help? Tom Parker spoke to a local little hero to find out how we can help.
62% of people in the UK have been littering. However, only 28% of people will actually admit to it, with 99% of our streets being covered with cigarette litter alone. It's costing us a lot of money, and I wanted to find out what the local community in Salford is doing about this serious issue. Libby Witherden works for the company Solid Ground, who've been making an effort to try and get litter off the streets by organising local litter picks.
I think it's making a safer place for people to be in the city centre and in and around Salford Central. You know, cleaning the streets has obviously got a positive effect on kind of the place as it is. From a community point of view, you've got the opportunity to maybe meet some people after a long period of us being kind of trapped indoors and not having that ability to go out and meet people.
Solid Ground have been working alongside Salford Litter Heroes, and Libby explained to me why they partnered up with this group for the project.
So Salford Litter Heroes are a fantastic organisation. They've got tons of experience of delivering litter picking events, and they're committed to kind of making Salford a safer place for people to enjoy. I think one of the things that we've seen is that parks, like the nearest park to New Bailey is Peel Park, and the Friends of Peel Park organise a regular litter pick, but it doesn't extend as far down as New Bailey. So we wanted to work with a Salford-based organisation that could kind of get really involved in kind of, you know, working in the New Bailey, Salford Central area. Salford Litter Heroes have got a website that you can visit, and they welcome everybody. So go and have a look at their website and see if there's anything in your area that you can sign up to. The nice thing about a litter pick is it's open air activity, it's socially distanced, so it's safe to do this type of activity during lockdown.
With littering costing the taxpayer £1 billion a year, local organisations like this give us hope that we can reduce waste piece by piece. Tom Parker, Quays News.
Join in with the discussion about today's programme on our socials at Quays News.
We want to hear from you if you think Salford has a litter problem.
In other news, for the second year running, the traditional Easter we all know looking pretty dull with no family and no egg hunts for children. But how have churches handled this COVID-safe Easter? Bethany Noon went to find out more.
Easter is one of the most important festivals in the Christian calendar. It is a Christian festival that is celebrated with family and friends.
So how has COVID affected the church services?
So in regards to St John's and St Luke's that I'm minister of, they are both currently closed. However, and we decided on that from a safety point of view, both our congregations are very vulnerable or very elderly. However, St John's has been open on a Saturday afternoon for private prayer, so people can come and just have some, an hour's space.
We all love a good lamb dinner and a good Easter egg afterwards on Easter Sunday. But what is symbolic behind these meals?
The thinking behind the theological symbolism of the Easter egg is to represent that empty tomb, to represent Mary going and Jesus not being there. So that's where the Easter egg comes in.
Bethany Noon, Quays News.
With the Easter holidays coming up, many people will be keen to bake some festive goods.
Our reporters have been getting in the Easter spirit and had a go to see who could create the best cake in what we're calling Quays Cakes.
Let's see how they got on.
Hello everyone, and welcome to, I don't know what to call this actually, probably Quays Cakes, and that's probably the best thing to call it, a little bit of alliteration. What we're going to be doing today, well, I'm going to be making quite a simple recipe. It's going to be a Victoria sponge cake, and then we're going to be finishing it off with some chocolate icing. We're going to have a chocolate...
I'm going to be making a Victoria sponge with a Lotus Biscoff buttercream. So, here are the ingredients. Close up. And yeah, it's an all-in-one recipe.
Now if you want to check out the recipe for my chocolate covered sponge cake, you can see the ingredients here. And if you want to check out Beth's recipe for her lemon cake, you can also see the ingredients on her side of the screen. And of course, if you want to check out Katie's recipe, you're going to have to try and break your neck to read it sideways. I didn't record the video. Now whilst some of us spent time to manually mix everything, not everyone took the challenge as seriously.
I think the best part of making a cake is the little leftovers that you get in the bowl at the end, because then you can just like eat them, even though they're not good for you.
Although I think we can all be in agreement in saying that probably is the best bit. Now whilst mine and Katie's cakes were a slightly simpler recipe, Bethany decided to take a different turn and a little bit of lemon zest for a lovely citrus flavour. Right, I think that is pretty much done. So we've done the first stage. Now basically I've just got to whack it in the oven, relax, have a few ciders, get a little bit tipsy, and then decorate it.
Before we do anything, we need to preheat the oven to gas mark number 3.
And of course, if you don't have an oven with gas marks, then you can set your oven to 180 degrees for a half an hour bake.
These are the cakes currently, it's been half an hour. Let's do that. Completely clear, they're done.
So now it is just the small matter of making the icing.
So now the cakes are cool, I'm going to make a start on the Lotus Biscoff buttercream.
Scoop that right in. It is a little bit on the sticky side. It does not look the most appetising, has to be said. well, this has not gone well, because I kind of wanted to just kind of spread it around. I realised that a spoon is not the best thing to use.
So this is what the Biscoff buttercream is currently looking like.
Whilst me and Katie were deliberating over our icing, Beth was very much at the finish line with a fantastic lemon cake. Really well decorated, very well shot as well. So, big well done to Beth.
There's quite a bit left, but I think the cakes have got enough on. So here comes the important task. Roll my sleeves up for this. Put the cake on the other cake. Ooh. There we go. Oh, that actually wasn't that bad. It's a bit crumbly in a couple of places, but I think that looks alright. Yeah.
Main camera there, so it doesn't tip off. I can't even show that on there because it's going to fall off. So there we have it, our 3 cakes are complete. Which one did you like the most? Make sure to let us know. But thank you for watching Group B's Bake Off.
That's probably not Bake Off standard, but well done for having a go, guys. And that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us.
For more stories, check out Quays News on social media.
Goodbye.